Hello and welcome. I am so excited and honored to be here with you today. You now have your cacao, you have your ceremonial cacao, you've purchased it from wherever in the world, you have your cacao, and now it's time to learn how to honor and to respect this incredible plant medicine, this heart-opening medicine from the moment you receive your package to the moment you're making the cacao, which we're going to do together in a moment, before you even start drinking the cacao. Now, if you're watching this video, you're part of a challenge, a beautiful group and series of short little videos and lives so that you can join us first to learn to make, to heat the ceremonial cacao with so much honor and respect and acknowledgement, and then to join us for 5 days live in drinking together so that I have this honor, beautiful honor and pleasure of sharing with you this incredible plant medicine, what this can do for you, why this is so important for you right now, why, especially because you're obviously hearing the calling of the cacao, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Somewhere in your life, cacao has been sprinkled into your awareness. And when that happens, these master plant medicines come into our life. They're calling to you. They're calling to you to help you to accelerate your expansion and awareness even more right now, because we are living in such a critical time, aren't we, in humanity? Such a critical time where we need our hearts to be opened, completely opened, to live from a place of pure, unconditional love and respect and bliss. Because it's in that place, that is the higher levels of consciousness that we're living in. And from that place, just our energy, the effect of your energy can affect the entire planet. All of those, especially those who are kind of stuck in the lower levels of awareness, which is more fear and shame and judgment. And so we all have this beautiful, beautiful, sacred pleasure and responsibility to grow and expand into these levels so that we can help support humanity simply by our being. And that's why I'm so excited. I'm excited to share with you how this medicine is going to help you to accelerate that journey for you, to bring you into a place of looking around the world and feeling so lost and scared sometimes and uncomfortable with all the chaos, with all the unraveling that's happening in the world, all the unraveling of these old systems that no longer serve us, that are not created and not managed and not produced for the greater good of humanity. That's all coming to the surface to unravel, to fold, so that we can all create these brand new, beautiful systems and ways of living that are for the greater good of humanity, that reflect who we really are, our beautiful divinity. And so I want to talk to you for a little bit about what's going to happen right now. We're going to make some cacao. I'm going to get it ready because it's going to take a few minutes to heat. So I want to show you how you're going to make your cacao. Now there's 3 options. There's the powder, the tea, and then of course there's the paste. So how do you know, first of all, which one that you want to create? Do I want to make my cacao with the powder? Do I want to make my ceremonial cacao with the paste? Or do I want to make my ceremonial cacao with the tea? I highly encourage you to enjoy them all. You don't have to make any, you don't have to enjoy all 3 of them. Obviously, the 2 I'm going to talk in a minute about making them set together, the powder and the paste, or the tea separately. But I want to encourage you to enjoy them all at some point, especially if you're hearing the calling of the cacao quite significantly in your life, then I would encourage you to enjoy all 3. And I'm going to show you how to make all 3. Now, why would you choose, first of all, the powder versus the paste? Now, let me talk to you about how the paste has been traditionally, the cacao, ceremonial cacao, has been traditionally enjoyed as paste. Our beautiful ancestors and indigenous families have known how sacred these plant medicines are, including cacao. There's many plant medicines that are available that were only once available to shamans and conscious teachers. Why are we hearing so much about them? Why are they now in our kitchens, in our yoga studios? We're hearing about on Facebook, Instagram, because there has never been a time where there's been such an acceleration in expansion and consciousness than right now. And I want you to even think about your own life. Where were you even just 3-4 years ago? You were a completely different person in a completely different place. And you probably, if you were to go backwards, you wouldn't recognize who you are today, right? How you speak, how you think, the things you enjoy, things you wish to be and spend your days doing, your vision for your future. It's all so magnificently different, because when we expand and expand and expand and expand into more of our remembering, then that's when we remember more of the love that we are. We are reflections of the divine, of the oneness consciousness. We are love, expressions of love. We are these humans right now living on Earth School. We've chosen these bodies to walk around as our temple, and we are these incredible souls and spirits that are divine, that are just remembering. We've come here to Earth School agreeing to forget who we truly are so that we can experience this joy of remembering. We're going to get so much into all of these teachings over the next 5 days when we go live for 20 minutes each day. So I'm excited for you to join us there. But in the meantime, it's very important that we acknowledge and honor our beautiful Indigenous families, our beautiful ancestors who have been drinking the cacao for the most part with the paste. The paste has a frequency of 432, which is the earth frequency. And haven't we needed for the last thousands of years to connect with the earth? We have really needed to connect with the earth because there's been so much disconnection with the earth. We're just going to take a moment and welcome Elena, who's coming in here. And so it's, let's see, we're going to take a quick moment. Elena. Can you hear me, Elena? Hello. Many of you are going to be watching this recording. I know it's Sunday morning for some of you. And so we're going to have you watch the recording and be ready for tomorrow's live. So yes, the paste has the frequency of the earth, 432, which is really grounding for respect and honor and remembering of our Pachamama, of our mother, who's here to love us and nurture us. And then the powder has the frequency, it's a lighter frequency. The cacao fat has been removed. It's a lighter frequency, the frequency of Father Sun. Incredible, isn't it? 528 frequency. And so this beautiful powder, when we mix the paste and the powder together, that's where we have the as above, so below, the frequency of the powder and the paste, the Father Sun and the Mother Moon and the Mother Earth. So think about that, the as above, so below. And the messages that I've been receiving recently, and another beautiful sacred soul who I work very closely with the cacao. He also has an incredibly beautiful sacred relationship with the cacao due to the consistency of drinking the cacao, the consistent showing up and speaking to the cacao, which we're going to talk about. He too has a beautiful sacred relationship with the cacao, and both of us have been receiving these messages to mix, if it resonates with you, to mix the powder and the paste together, so that the cacao can bring you into another level of teachings, both whether you'd make it with powder or with the paste or with the tea, have different levels of teachings. And so it's up to you. There's no right or wrong, whatever you feel comfortable with. And so right now, I'm going to make 1 cup of cacao with the powder and the paste. So I'm going to take about anywhere from 5 to 15 grams. The cacao comes in these little pieces. So you're going to take a couple little pieces like this, and I'm just going to drop it into my one more little piece, because I'm used to a little bit more. But when you're starting, you're going to start with just a little bit. Here's a beautiful little pot. See this sweet little, it's kind of like considered a Turkish pot. You want to do whatever, any kind of size pot that you wish to use. I like to use this small one because I'm just making a cup. And so you just stir, continue to stir. And in here's already some powder. And if you're making a cup of cacao, you use about a teaspoon of powder, 1 to 3 teaspoons. Again, you're going to start very light at first, your first time drinking ceremonial cacao. And then you're just going to notice, how was that journey for me? Should I drink more or maybe a little bit less? And we'll talk about over the next few days what to expect in terms of feeling some beautiful heat around your heart. Some of you might be feeling a beautiful energy, a creative energy. For some of you, the first time, it might even feel a little bit of sadness coming through you. You're noticing the sadness. You're not sure what it's all about. It's beautiful because cacao's here to come into our hearts, open up our heart and allow us to feel, allow us to experience the other perspectives that it's going to sprinkle into our awareness, other perspectives of the stories and the beliefs we've been holding on so tight to, we don't want to let go of. Show us the other side of those perspectives, so we can let go of those thoughts and continue to expand in consciousness. So I'm just going to continue to heat. I'm going to put this back at the stove. And what you want to do is constantly be stirring your cacao. As you're making the cacao, you're always standing by the cacao. This is a beautiful, sacred experience that you're having. You're brewing the cacao. So you're literally stirring, constantly stirring. Then you can stop and just acknowledge, look down. You're going to see beautiful patterns and textures. This in and of itself is very hypnotic. I go deeper into this beautiful gift that we have of connecting with the cacao in this way as we go over this 5-day challenge and beyond. You're going to find during this 5-day challenge that you might wish to even learn more. The calling's even stronger for you, and you want to learn more, you want to experience more, you want to go deeper. And I'm excited to share with you other options that we can do with you at that point. However, this 5-day journey is going to be so magical for you, so incredible for you in terms of experiencing this incredible plant and this medicine. And so the tea, I want to share with the tea. I'm just going to stand by the stove. You don't want to walk away from the stove. The tea, which comes in little flakes, you can see here, I'm going to show you right behind there. Can you see those little flakes? The tea comes in little flakes, and you're going to put it in like a little French press like this. See at the bottom, right over here, you can see the tea flakes in there. And then we have the water, and you just let it sit in here for about 5-10 minutes. So they can steep. We also have a little tea steeper. You might have one of these little round balls, which you put into your teacup. So whatever you have, French press or little ball, it's about 5-10 minutes steeping, and then it's ready for you to drink. When it's ready, you press down all the way. You're going to see it's sort of a more of an orangey color, and it's going to be beautiful. The tea is just a little bit lighter than the powder or the paste. So I personally love to drink the powder and the paste mixed together in the morning, a little bit, either a cup or a half a cup, depending on how you're starting. You start always with a half a cup, see how you're feeling, and then you work your way up. So you enjoy that half a cup. And then what I love is a little bit of the tea early afternoon, because it continues the journey for me. This heightened state of creativity, this heightened state of compassion and love, and this heightened state and elevation in consciousness, which is what these beautiful plant medicines do for us. So let me also just share with you, I'm just going to continue to mix here. As you can see, we're mixing. And we want to do this for about 10 minutes, about 5 to 10 minutes. Really, the longer you can enjoy mixing at the stove on low heat, never higher than low heat. Except I will take you through a journey over the 5 days. There is a way where we reach a certain temperature to activate an even more accelerated teaching from the cacao. And I'll review that after you've experienced. There's baby steps to experience this beautiful plant medicine. So for now, you just heat on low, you enjoy it on low, and in a moment, we're going to be ready to pour it and to drink it. Now, I want to take you through also what happens when you're ready to drink this, which in a minute we will do together. And you say, oh my goodness, I expected it to taste like chocolate. Again, it's cacao, not to be mistaken by cocoa. So it's spelled C-A-C-A-O, which is the pure seed, the pure cacao. Cocoa has been processed, and for the most part, most cocoa, they've added milks and sugars. That's why they call it hot cocoa, hot chocolate. That is not what this is. This is the pure version before it gets processed into all of that. So it's important that you know that, and that it's important that whatever cacao you purchase, it is cacao and not cocoa. And ceremonial grade is very important, because ceremonial grade needs to be honored all along through the process. It's one of the original seeds the hybrid, the original seeds, and it's in one of the farms, and it's been packaged all along the way with honoring and sacredness around the fact that this is a master plant medicine. And so what happens if you're drinking the cacao? I'm going to keep stirring, as I mentioned, constantly stirring the cacao. When you're making your own cacao, you're not going to be talking like I am. You're going to be with the cacao, being present with the cacao, because it's starting to work with you and communicate with you already in the process of just making the cacao. It's all, there's more to be heard in the silence than there is with words. So don't forget that. And that is extremely effective with plant medicines, especially cacao. When you're making the cacao, there's more to be heard in the silence. The cacao is talking to you, working with you. And so, as I mentioned, you're drinking the cacao. There's no sugar in raw cacao, ceremonial cacao, no sugar whatsoever. There's nothing added in ceremonial cacao. So for some of you who have lots of sugars in your diet, you might drink it and say, oh my goodness, it's so strong. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting sweeter, expecting chocolate. And I've noticed that some people just say, oh, you know what? It's too strong for me. And then they give up. This incredible invitation from Source to connect with a plant medicine that's going to take you by the hand and bring you back home into your heart. So I always say, don't give up. Even if you're just, for me, I love this taste, this raw taste, no sugar. It reminds me of connecting to Mother Earth, Pachamama. It's an even more sacred experience for me. But for you, you might think, you know what, it's just a bit strong. And so in that case, I would suggest that you use a natural sugar. So something like organic natural sugars. So there's organic maple syrup. I live in Canada. Maple syrup is very popular here. So maple syrup sugar, it's all natural from the sap. Coconut sugar, organic coconut sugar. So there's so many natural sugars that you can use. You want to honor and respect this plant medicine. Keep it organic, keep it natural. Even what I'm using, I've added in here some spring water versus tap water. Who knows what's happening in your country with the tap water? I absolutely drink spring water. Spring water is natural, comes from nature. It's beautiful. There's been no fluoride added, no other chemicals. So it's so, so beautiful to either have spring water, or some of you may wish to have plant-based milks. That's another beautiful, beautiful thing to add to your cacao if you wish. Make sure that it's sugarless, it's sugar-free. And almond is wonderful. If you can make your own, that's even better. Almond, cashew milk, oat milk, whatever it is you wish, you can add these beautiful milks to your cacao as well. It makes it a little bit sort of milkier and a little bit sweeter, and even though there's no sugar in those beautiful plant medicine, those plant-based milks as well. So lots of different options that you can do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you also, I love to what I call mix the medicines, which is adding sometimes other medicines. I don't do it all the time, but I do want to share this with you. Some of you have other medicines you work with, right? Many of you are healers, light workers, coaches. And so you're already connected to your heart and some of the medicines that you're already working with. I, for over 20 years, have been connected to essential oils. I used to work for the Body Shop, the skin and hair care company, years and years and years ago. And I was the aromatherapy manager. So I learned all about essential oils. And I have a beautiful collection of essential oils. You can get them from so many different companies. There's 3 different companies represented here. This is a beautiful example of finding somebody in your life who is probably a representative of one of these companies and purchasing from them. They probably have their own small business. So ginger, I love to add ginger. Rose, pure rose oil, one of the highest vibrations in flowers. As a flower, the rose oil. Tangerine is another beautiful oil I love to add, or wild orange. I mean, there's so many. And what you want to do with these beautiful essential oils is you want to make sure that you are putting, if you're making only 1 cup of cacao, you want to make sure that you're using a toothpick. And I'm going to just continue to mix here. You want to use a toothpick. Pull out the toothpick and open up your beautiful bottle of essential oil. Put the toothpick in here, and then take the toothpick out and just move the toothpick around in your cup, because this is how strong these are. Sometimes you don't even want to use a whole drop. When I'm making ceremonial cacao, a big pot for ceremony, for when people are coming over, or I'm hosting a beautiful sacred ceremony with a big pot, that's when I'll use a couple drops. But if you're making just one cup, you definitely want to use a toothpick and just mix it around just a little bit. I'm going to turn off my cacao, my stove right now, so that, and give it one more stir, and I'm going to pour into my beautiful cup. That's another thing. You want to have a gorgeous cup, something that just feels so beautiful to you, so sacred. I host retreats in the Azores and in Peru, and this beautiful cup, part of our retreats in Peru is we go to a local beautiful ceramic maker, a village where all, in this case, was only ladies, beautiful village called Chasuta. You can see it written there in Peru, north of Lima, near Tarapoto, and we mix and we make our little pots there, we make our little cups there, which is so beautiful. And that way, there's so much meaning for me with this beautiful cup. So find yourself a beautiful cup that you love. And then we have here our beautiful cacao. And that's what I'm about to share with you over the next 5 days. Now what? Now what? You have the cacao in your cup. How do you connect to the spirit, to this consciousness? How does this help you open up your heart? How is this going to help you in expanding literally into the cosmos and away from the chaos of the day-to-day? How is this going to help you to look down from that perspective and remember your role in the chaos, your role on planet Earth? Clarify your purpose. What are you supposed to be doing? What is going to bring you the most joy? What is your mission here on planet Earth, on this beautiful Earth School? Wouldn't it be beautiful to have this kind of guidance every day to open up your intuition? And this is what we're going to be talking about over the next 5 days. So I want to, normally we would sit and we would have a little blessing together, but we're going to save that for tomorrow. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., join us live for the next 5 days, 9 a.m. If for some reason you can't make that time, don't worry. We're going to send you the recording, just like this recording is going to be sent out right now to everyone who's enrolled or registered in the challenge. So if you're not already part of the Facebook group, let me just include this link right here and make sure you get in the Facebook group, because the lives are happening in there. Again, if you're not on Facebook, you're not on social media, don't worry. You're registered. If you're here, you're registered to the challenge, so you will receive an automatic recording of this. But in case you do want to be live with us, let me just send this to you right now. So what you want to do right now is you want to go into the chat, and I am going to paste in here in the chat the challenge. So right here in the chat, I know we have Elena. How are you, beautiful? And the other person, I'm not sure who this is. So there's no name. So hello and welcome. If you're not already in the Facebook group, click here in the chat, join us into the Facebook group so that you can be live with us starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. 5 days, 9 a.m. for 20 minutes. So I can spend a little bit of time each day helping you to understand, to honor, and to experience this incredible consciousness raising, heart expanding medicine, because it's our time. It's our time to expand faster, to expand beyond the suffering, and to remember why we're here, the divinity. The entire world is about to wake up. So many people are feeling lost in the chaos, so lost. Look at our mental health crisis that's happening right now. So you're being called by the cacao to drink some more cacao so it can take you beyond the suffering, beyond your current box that you believe you're experiencing, into the cosmos, which you are part of, which you are helping to create, this collective consciousness. So thank you, loves. Namaste, Satnam. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. Hello, Elena. Do you have any questions, Elena? It's so beautiful to see you.
No, I'll watch the video again because I think I missed like 5 minutes at the beginning.
Yes.
But otherwise, I think like I used to make cacao like back home, not from mixing, but the way you do it in a pot. So it's gonna be reintroduced into my life again.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so beautiful to see you again. Look at you in nature, the blue sky, the green behind you. So beautiful. Oh.
It's really nice. You know what? It's kind of cold. I don't know why. It's the middle of June, but otherwise it's beautiful. Like it's a nice
wow
lake.
Wow. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so excited for you. I know that you're not on social media. You're going to expect the recordings. We talked about that. So I'm excited for you to receive the recordings and look out for that. And yeah, everyone have a beautiful Sunday. Get ready, 9 o'clock. Hello, Leanne, beautiful Leanne. You just popped in here. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to share one more time in the chat. I can't remember, Leanne, if you're already in our Facebook group, but I'm going to copy and paste it, our private Facebook group that we made for the challenge, so that you can make sure that you're going to join us live if you can. And if you can't make the live, that's okay. The recordings, I was just saying to Elena, are going to be coming out to you. Here it is. Let me just send you. There we go. In the chat. Oh, wait a minute. It needs to go to everyone. 1 second. There we go. Make sure you get into the Facebook group because that's where we're going to be live tomorrow 9 a.m. for 5 days, and it's going to be absolutely so magical. We just went over, Leanne, unfortunately you missed it, about a half an hour of making the cacao, some beautiful important things about this beautiful challenge to get you ready. I'm going to send in the next half an hour this out to everybody so you can see the recording. Wishing you all a magical Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, and thank you for presentation, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, love. Mwah. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I was late. I ended up going on your site to order my paste and my cocoa, so that's what happened. I'm so sorry.
My God. Oh, I'm excited that you're coming on the cacao onto our challenge. You're going to experience these 5 days, Leanne. It's going to be so magical. It's such, I mean, I have goosebumps. Such an honor to help everyone experience when you are consistent with a master teacher plant medicine, what it's going to do to help you to get into your heart back home, to visit back home into your heart, and to release the fears and the doubts around why you're here and what's happening in the world, and remembering that you are here to help bring the world into a place of peace and love. And it all starts with our being. So, ciao, everybody. Great.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.